Today, we're going to be running through Manus, which is absolutely popping off right now. This is a new Chinese AI agent that can control your browser, and it's kind of like a DeepSeek moment. If we have a look at some of the use cases, you'll see what I mean. Bear in mind, I'm paying $200 a month right now. I'm feeling like an absolute plonker because you can get it for free at Manus from what I've seen so far. And it's pretty wild what you can do. You see some of the stuff. I'll be running you through some of the demos today and how it works, etc. For example, for research, live, data analysis, education, productivity, it can find you potential customers. Or it can even do like schedules for candidate interviews. It can do website SEO optimization. And I'll run you through exactly what this means and how it's working so far. But here's the craziest thing that I've seen out of all of this, and it absolutely blew my mind, but terrified me at the same time when I saw this, which is, let me pull this up for you. There's a video of the AI actually controlling like 50 different screens at the same time. Let me pull this up for you. So you can see here, this is a tweet from Mahesh, who says China is on the verge of becoming AI superpower with release of its second gen AI Manus, claimed to perform 50 tasks at a time and more powerful than the first gen AI, DeepSeek AI, right? And you can see a video of it here. So it's controlling all these responsive screens, kind of like they're all, you got tweets, you got it checking out Twitter, you've got it, for example, scrolling through feeds, checking out WhatsApp or maybe Telegram, something like that. Like, it's pretty wild what it can do. And this is probably the future that we're looking at, to be honest with you. So I'm going to run you through exactly how it works step by step, what it looks like, how you can use it, etc. And we'll start with an example that we've got right here. So this is very similar to ChatGPT in the way it's laid out. You kind of got like the canvas and the results over here. So these are the end results of the itinerary that we've got for Japan. And basically what we said was 7-day Japan itinerary with proposal ideas. So the original prompt for this demo is, I need a 7-day Japanese itinerary for April 15 from Seattle with a 2,000 to 5,000 budget for my fiance and me, blah, blah, blah. Lots of detail right there. And then it's actually gone off and like researched all of this. Now, the interesting thing about this is it can actually execute commands. It can create files, right? So for example, if we click on this, we can see the file that is created, which is a to-do.md. It can also search the web. It can actually browse the web as well. So, kind of like Claude does. Claude is the only one that I've seen actually do this decently so far. But you can see here, for example, it's actually browsed the web, taking a cheeky little screenshot. We can play the footage of the browse use as well. So it's actually, if we keep scrolling forward here, you can see how it's just searching the web, doing lots of deep research. And the AI agent is just going off and figuring everything out. Pretty wild. And you can see here as well, like it's just analyzed, okay, here's what we need to do, here's how it's going to work, etc. And this is just one of the prompts that you can do step by step. So it's pretty wild. It's wild to see like Chinese AI just, move so quickly on this, right? Like we've seen the rise of DeepSeek and how that overtook ChatGPT and the SERPs. Now we're seeing the rise of Manus, the AI agent developed by Monica, and it was just launched a couple of days ago, right? So it's March the 8th today. And this was launched on March the 6th. I've seen it trending. I've seen people post about it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you pull that up, link in the comments description. I actually saw one of our legendary members, Ricardo, who said, is this going to be the game changer? And it's been pretty wild, Potentially this could be another Chinese victory when it comes to AI. So crazy stuff right here. And if we have a look through some of the examples, so you can see how it works step by step here. So it can just go off, it can research the internet, it can create different demos, you can browse the web, and it's really, really good at research as well. So this is a demo feed video as well from the co-founder and chief scientist. So you can see here as well, like you can upload resumes in a zip file. It has like this canvas option, and you can see how it's opening up the PDFs inside the zip. It seems to work really fast. I think this is a sped up version, to be fair, in the demo. But you can see how it just sort of flies through all the files, figures everything out, looks for everything, and just does its magic step by step. But not only that, but it can actually like create files directly on your laptop, which, ChatGPT Operator can't. Now, if you want to compare this side by side versus ChatGPT Operator, let me show you how that works. So if you go onto ChatGPT here, let me pull this up for you. and you can see an example. So if we come on to ChatGPT and then we go over to operator in the top left here, we can start using operator. And, you can say, for example, okay, let's compare this side by side versus Manus. So bear in mind, from what I've seen, Manus, I can't see any prices listed. So maybe it's going to be, a premium or freemium model in the future, but I can't see any prices listed yet. Whereas Operator, ChatGPT Operator, I paid for the Pro package, which is like, what, $200 a month, $2,400 a year. So if we pull this up right here, and I'm going to say inside the chat here, I need a 7-day Japan itinerary. We're going to click OK on that right here. And we'll see which one just gives us the best results so far. So it can operate the browser, which is great. I don't think it can actually create files for you, unlike Manus, which can actually create files directly in the chat. We'll wait for that to load. You can also take control, but you can see here how slow it is as well using the operator browser. If we pull this up full screen, for example, it's only got to one website, and how long has that taken? Like a minute or so, something like that. Now, if we have a look at the details, we can see what it's doing. So it's researching, exploring, we'll keep this running in the background, and we'll come back to it occasionally during the video and just see how it does. But the way that I've seen this running this is far more impressive. Now, this is just one demo. Let's have a look at a few others here. So we've also got, for example, like deeply analyzed Tesla stocks. Let's have a look what we got on productivity, see if we've got anything interesting here. I'd be interested to see what it can do in terms of interacting with things, if that makes sense. So, how can it interact with the world, and can it, for example, like book things on the internet and that sort of thing as well? And let's see what we got here. So we can, for example, we'll go for this one. Buy real estate in New York. So it's kind of like a deep research agent. We're going to click on that. And then it's going to take a couple of minutes to load. Now you can see how it's running through. Right? So this is a recorded demo. Now, if you look at the speed of this, I don't know if this is sped up, right? But if you look at the speed of this compared to the speed of ChatGPT Operator, this is way, way slower. And it seems to like speed through the internet and it also seems to be a little bit smarter. Like the thing I noticed about ChatGPT Operator, for example, is like it gets stuck on a lot of websites. And also if there's any sort of capture, it just, you've got no chance. You've got absolutely no chance with ChatGPT Operator. Whereas Manus seems to like just do its magic step by step. So pretty interesting stuff right there. Let's keep going to see what we get next. So we've got the data analysis as well. So it can also create charts. Let's try that. So we'll create the company organizational charts. And I think this is the way the future is going. I know that, for example, recently Opera actually released an AI agent browser. This is the future of the internet, really. Let's have a look at this. Operated browser. So Opera browser unveils AI agent that handles online tasks for you. Similar sort of process, see, it's kind of like a similar chat setup. But from what I can see, Manus seems to be a lot more free and a lot more proven. I haven't really seen anyone speak about the ChatGPT Operator method. So it also seems to be using some sort of like deep reasoning model when it's going through the internet. So you see how it's coming up with thinking quite often at the bottom there. Pretty interesting. And then it's creating the chart step by step. So you can see these files right here. So if we preview the file, we can see the files that it's created, the leadership data, etc. And it can also edit files, like you can see right here. So you see the original, diff, and the modified. This is the research on real estate, so buying property in New York with low crime and education needs. And then again, we've got the files at the end of it. So it's found us like 4 different areas right there, some examples, and then we've got the results that we can preview. And you can also view all the files, and then you can just download them like so, right? So we can actually download that file directly from the chat right there. We can also locate it in the chat. And yeah, pretty well. Whereas inside ChatGPT operator, obviously this is in like a sort of, it's in a separate sort of virtual environment, but you wouldn't be able to download or edit files directly. Like it's just going to do the research, and quite often it does get stuck directly. Let's see what else people are saying about this. So yeah, it's kind of like a deep research and operator. The other thing here is like a lot of Chinese social media already knows about it, but it's not really that common. I think it's just been announced to the world, really, the rest of the world outside of China today. If you look at some of the reports and what's going on over here, what else we got here? Yeah, so Rowan Chung, he says, I think China's DeepSeek second moment is here. It's going crazy viral in China, probably only a matter of time until it hits the US. It's like deep research plus operator plus Claude computer use combined, and it's really good. Let's see what else we got here. So for the first test, Rowan asked Manus to create a biography on Rowan Chung and deploy a website based on that biography. And then it actually seemed to do it. So let's have a look what we got here. So you can see it's writing the biography, coming up the research, and then does it actually deploy the website? That's pretty crazy if it does. Yes, look at that. You actually got the website created based on the deep research about Rowan Chung and the tasks he's created there. And then, yeah, it's just designed the whole website. Let's have a look what we got here. So just test something a bit practical. Top rental spots in San Francisco. And then you get the deep research reports back. You know, the thing is here, right? You can use, for example, ChatGPT operator, but ChatGPT operator is very, very slow. You know, you can see how long it takes. And also it just gets stuck. Like you can see how there's no files created here. So it's done all this research right here on the left-hand side, but there's no files or information or research created. Whereas if you go into Manus, it will actually create the files step by step for you, and it will edit files directly for you. You could also, for example, use something like Perplexity.ai, but the problem with Perplexity AI is like it can't actually scroll through websites. So it doesn't have that computer use feature where it can look through the internet and scan for you. So if we go on to Perplexity, for example, and we're like, right, okay, give me some examples of real estate in New York. Like it can do a decent amount of research for you, but it's not going to be able to browse the web and scroll through websites and screenshot the image and then figure out, okay, what's going on here. It's just like a very basic sort of search feature, kind of like a glorified Google at that point. So it's kind of interesting to see how Manus is just hitting the web here. You can actually join their Discord channel, right? So they have a Discord channel here. Let me pull it up for you. Manus AI. And they seem to be releasing like invitation codes each day. I tried some of these and couldn't actually get them. You can see a lot of crying emojis right there. So you can actually as well go on to Twitter and you can reply to this tweet with a task that you'd like Manus to handle. And then the team will run a request based on what you want, right? So for example, see some examples here. Someone said, draft a proposal for a solar-powered self-sufficient home at these coordinates. Home should be 200 square meters, single floor, 3 attached garages, etc. And they actually replied for doing the search for them, which is pretty amazing. Let's have a look what else people have said here. So create a dynamic dashboard. And wow, is that hosted already? Let's pull this up and see what we got here. That'd be interesting. So it's doing a dashboard for NVIDIA stock analysis. These demos must be sped up. They're so fast, it's crazy. If you're actually trying to sign up on the website directly, so if you click on Get Started here, you do need an invitation code. If you don't have a code, you have to apply for access. And then you put your email, you put some details about how they can help you submit the request, and then hope to hear back. And also, it looks like daily they're releasing new invitation codes. So, for example, here, today, 1 p.m., well, 1:30 p.m., they release these invitation codes. When I checked a few hours later, like, they were all exhausted. And none of these codes were working, right? So if I grab that one, and we go over to Manus, plug in the invitation code, hit get started. It will say resource exhausted, invitation code has reached the maximum amount. So it seems pretty hard to get access right now, but hopefully there's more access in the future. And also we've got some cool use cases here. So inside the Discord channel, they're showing a bunch of use cases here. Pretty active Discord channel as well. You see there's like 6,000 people right there. And then you've got like all these video demos that you can play right there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens when that comes out. I can imagine it's either going to be free or it's going to be even cheaper than ChatGPT Operator. I mean, it can't get much more expensive, to be fair. And if you go back to Operator, like it's still not done any of the research, right? Let's be honest. I mean, the first couple of days that I tried it, it was interesting, but it hasn't improved since then. And that was about a month ago at least. So it's, ChatGPT Operator and all these other AI features are just getting replaced by Chinese AI at the minute. That's what I'm seeing as a continuous trend here. And it's pretty crazy. I don't know what's going to happen next. Let's see what else we got. So here's the report for Manus here. Manus, so yeah, just check it out. It's on the website. I would definitely check out the Discord as well. We can also review the benchmarks, right? So GAI-A is a benchmark for evaluating general AI assistance. And I never trust these benchmarks, but if you do trust these benchmarks, here they are, right? So you can compare the Gaia benchmark versus Manus AI versus OpenAI versus the previous SOTA, right? So you can see that Manus is absolutely destroying OpenAI deep research on all of these different levels, which is pretty interesting. And this was sourced from the Deep Research app directly. Let's see what else they're tweeting about as well. So we've got the details here, more updates coming. Yeah, I think the best way to test out is just actually post a reply to this tweet and try and get access that way. But yeah, you can see everyone's trying to get access. Maybe everyone in China got access first, something like that. So that is it from me, peeps. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments. If you haven't joined the AI Profit Boardroom yet, feel free to get that link in the comments description. This comes with all of my best SOPs, templates, tutorials, AI agents, and workflows, including how I automate email and content automations, social media and video, AI agents, web automation and scraping, AI SEO automations, and a crash course plus a bunch of SOPs. We also record the Q&A recordings that we do each week. You can ask inside the community if you have any questions. And additionally, you can jump on the weekly Q&A calls with us and just ask any questions that you have. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales multiplier. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get an SEO domination plan. So this will be a custom tailored plan so you can generate more lead sales and profits from your website. You will discover the secrets of SEO link building, answer any questions you have, you learn the best link building strategy for your website, and you'll learn how to 10x your SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching as always. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.